Hi guys, I'm Anne from Geeks of Green and today I will be showing you my bedroom mini jungle. Before I get into this video, a quick reminder to participate in the giveaway for this month. So now let's get into the video and I'll quickly show you this small mini jungle that I've created in my bedroom because I couldn't see a space going waste. It was just like a dump yard and nothing much was happening here because it's not very accessible. The window is very high. So I wanted to use it in some way and obviously for plants. So I'll just show you what I did. Now let's start with this section here. If you remember sometime back, I did do a video of setting up this propagation station and it's been working amazing for me. I have all my propagations here untouched and they don't keep falling about and they are in one space, so I can keep coming back here and checking on them and maintaining them. So this propagation station has been very helpful for me. So right now it is summertime and not many propagations are happening here. Some of these are very old plants old cuttings that I have left in here and I've decided to keep them in water. The roots have grown really long, so I'm not really planning to transfer them into soil right now. I intend to keep them in water for as long as I can. And there are some new propagations. So summer is ideally not the time I do any kind of propagations, water or soil, or be it any other form of propagation, because there's a lack of humidity and there's a lot of heat and there is not much success in all the propagations that you try. So I wait for the rains, and the rainy season has its natural humidity and the humidity is very high and the propagations are more successful. That is my observation. So I wait for the rains and I'm kind of waiting for the rains right now to bump up all the propagations that I have going on here. If you would like a video or masterclass on water propagation soon, do leave in the comments below so I will know if I should do it for you or not. I do have some old cuttings right here. This bottle has a sweet potato wine, which got left behind and didn't go into the sweet potato pot. So it's just hanging in there. Then there is this tiny little epischia that has been in water for a very long time, and a scandens and some money plants there, which are not doing really well because they were not really healthy cuttings. So I will talk about that in the propagation class as well. So some Tradescantia pallida over here, purple heart as you call it commonly. Then we have the Monstera Pero over there, money plant here. And up we have more money plants, cuttings, and there's Sansevieria here, and there is a Dracaena, Suclosa. There's another Sansevieria there. I have a couple of Sansevierias right here, and these are doing quite well in water for a very, very long time. I have not removed it and I don't intend to. So right now, very few cuttings. As you can see, I will be bumping that up. I will be using many more bottles here and doing that just at the onset of the rainy season so that I have more success with my cuttings. So now this area is also like a plant hospital for me, where suffering plants that are struggling and just going to die and need a little bit more attention or need to be kept away from the other plants in my balcony all come here. And here is where I try to bring them back to life, revive them, and do all sorts of things with them. I also have my experiments going on here. I'm experimenting with some plants, with some propagations, and even some plants that go dormant. The pots are empty and they look ugly in the balcony when I have a beautiful balcony set up, and if I have pots that are going dormant throughout 6 months in the year, I kind of bring them here and keep them here so that they are away from all the drama that's happening in my balcony, and they are chilling right here. And when they want to come out of their dormancy, they come out, especially in the rainy season. So I have all my caladiums right here right now, and a few oxalises. Sometimes I bring them here. But right now my oxalises are all not dormant, so they are all in the balcony. So this is a space, a sacred space that I have kept for these kind of plants. So you will see a lot of plants that are looking slightly sickly, and it's also summer. So I attribute some of that to the harsh heat of the summer, that some plants are not looking as healthy as they look, especially in the rainy season. Today I'm very happy to launch these two new cups that we have designed by ourselves. Okay, this is for the plant minimalist with some of my favorite leaves right here. And this is for the plant hoarder who loves to hoard plants. Somebody who's just like me. So go and check these out on the website. I will leave it in the link down below. So I really hope you like it. I'll probably make a video of how I put these mugs together from scratch. Started with drawings and then digitizing all these drawings. And it was a fun experience. I hope you really like these. So in this corner right here, I have my Fittonia that completely died out. But as you can see, it's coming back right now. You can see fresh leaves coming. So I see hope for that plant. It was a beautiful lush Fittonia, and in the harsh summer heat, it did die down to every last leaf and is coming back right now. So I do have a lot of caladiums, and all these pots here are mostly caladiums. I think that one there is an alocasia, but mostly these are caladiums, and they've gone dormant. As you can see, towards the rainy season, it rained a bit even in May. So some of the caladiums are popping back up. They're coming out of their dormancy. All these that you can see have come out of their dormancy and are kind of growing back, which gives me a lot of happiness. This one's a really pretty leaf. Just one leaf coming, but there are other pots, and there's a new one coming right here in this pot. I'm waiting for the others to pop as well. So it's very exciting when you see dormant plants coming back up. That one over there is a Philodendron Ceylon cutting. It's still not caught to life. As you can see, the leaves are so droopy. I'm waiting for it to grow roots. That's a soil propagation, and I hope it comes to life. That's an experiment. Let's see. And here I have some plants like Syngoniums that were not doing well in my balcony. They had lost their every last leaf. Probably they didn't have space over there. This is a cutting that I had found in Mahabaleshwar, and it's growing. I need to give it a moss pole, but yeah, it's grown. All these, every single of these leaves have come after I've given it a little bit of space over here. Over here also I have another Syngonium auretum that I had bought, and it had lost its every last leaf, and all these new leaves have come once I shifted the plant here. So it seems to be doing pretty well. And okay, you have seen this in my one of my recent hauls. This is the Euphorbia stenoclada that I had got from Pune, and it's doing quite well. It's happy here. It's a big plant, so I put it here. Some plants in this area are permanent residents, like they are here not because they're sick or struggling. They're here because there's no space in that balcony. And okay, this is my silver lace fern. It's doing quite okay, not so great, not as great as it was doing back in the nursery, but it's alive. And I'm hoping that it will continue to grow. So this is my Monstera Peru. It's doing quite well. It's on a moss stick. It's just a single plant. It was a small plant when I got it. And you can see here at the top that I gave it a cut some time back. I put 2 cuttings in water. That's still not rooted. But you can see the new growth after I gave it that cut. It's got this beautiful new growth, and the leaves are pretty big, healthy. And the plant is looking good. It's a plant that is not very easy to keep, I would say, but it's doing well. And you can see right back there in the soil, there's a new shoot coming out of the soil there, which is great news because it's coming directly from the soil, and I can probably get it to climb next to this shoot. So I'm really happy about that. Okay, then we move on to this side. This side is a side that is generally untouched by me. Okay, it's this lush green, happy place, especially because the AC is right above there, and for 2 hours in the night we have the AC on, and the water kind of drips into this area, and you can see that this area is generally pretty lush and watered and happy because of the AC water there. This one is my Philodendron Ceylon, and it's doing really well. It's growing different shoots. Probably I got to take more cuttings and try to propagate them. That one is my Philodendron Bipinnatifidum which is also called the tree philodendron. Actually, it is the Thaumatophyllum Bipinnatifidum because it was reclassified from the philodendron to the Thaumatophyllum. And but I keep saying philodendron, old habits die hard. Okay, you can see that my Thaumatophyllum Bipinnatifidum is sending out new roots. It's scouting for more nutrients here and there, so it's going into other pots also. You can see that whole network right there, and the plant is way back there. So it's a big, beautiful plant. It's not as big as the cutting that I got. I had done a repotting of a cutting some time back, which is upstairs in my mother-in-law's house, and that is growing really beautifully. I'll probably show it to you in some other video coming in the future. And that is much bigger than this, and it's a majestic looking plant. I can show you. The leaves are so gorgeous. The leaves are so beautiful and gorgeous. You can see the shine. This is a new leaf and it looks so beautiful. I love this plant. And it's growing pretty well without too much fuss. It's been getting a consistent supply of water from the AC, and it's not complained. In this whole cluster, I also have, I think, around 2-3 aglaonemas. One's right here. This one was suffering, but it's coming back. Behind right there, you can see, probably I'll put an arrow on screen. That is the aglaonema that I have. It's growing quite well. There's another one in the bottom. I can see new leaves on that too. Sorry, I can't show you because it's kind of inaccessible, but they are two common aglaonemas. So right back there is the Philodendron Burl Max, and it's doing quite okay. It's not doing as well as I would want it to, but it's okay because there's quite limited sunlight right here. And I've given it a moss bowl. It's climbing around it, and the leaves are pretty okay, big, healthy. So I'm happy. So right here, I have some of my Pedilanthes curly pink cuttings propagating. You can see this one pot here. There's this other pot here. Okay. Right here. And then this one's the non-variegated one, which I had taken from the variegated one spot. And I made a pot of non-variegated Pedilanthes cuttings. And I feel they look quite cute. And it's overflowing right now. Probably needs a little bit of pruning and more propagations. Okay, so that's that. Then over here, I have set up a grill. Now this place was going to waste. I didn't know how to hang more planters, and I really wanted to hang planters. I was so desperate, and then sat and figured it out that we would put a grill over here. Now Jake has done this, so all credit goes to him. Obviously, I was involved in, of course, I was involved in the planning bit, but all the hard work was done by Jake, so I have to give credit to him. Now this grill has been put up, which has made me so happy because I can put so many hanging plants, and to give them different levels, I just add these huge S hooks to bring some plants down. To keep some plants up, I directly put it on the grill here, and I think I have scope to put some more plants in some empty spaces or probably hang them a little lower. It also gives a lot of privacy here in my bedroom, and I just love to see the greens when I wake up in the morning. It's a great sight to see. So yeah, this has been really good for me and good for many of my plants that were drying out over there in my balcony, in my main balcony. They're doing quite well here because it's a little more humid in this cluster of plants. Now this one is a very old fern that I have. Okay, it's a tiger fern. I believe I've forgotten Neptolophis. I'll put the name on there for you. You can see that it's pretty old. It's coming out of all. There's plants growing out of the drainage holes right here, and there's absolutely no soil. I think it's just a major root ball here. Now it's summer, so that's why so many dry fronds. But I'm sure this plant gets back. It's gone down to being so dry and then getting back lush again. So I have faith in this plant. This plant comes back. So remember, it's summer, so the plants may not be as great and lush, but I'm happy with it, what it is this summer. This here is a Tradescantia zebrina, and as you know it's a very common plant called the Wandering Jubilee, and it's got beautiful leaves with the silvery purplish sheen on it, which makes it look so lovely. So this is one of my favorites. They are tricky to care for on the long run. They are mealybug magnets, so you need to keep an eye out for mealybugs especially. This is another Tradescantia. This is a little lanky and needs a little bit of plucking. As you can see, it's become very leggy. So I'm going to probably cut it and fill up the spots. This is a very old pallida of mine. Now, the story of this pallida and all the pallidas that I have is it started from a cutting that I found on the pavement down below. Belonged to somebody else. It was just a small cutting, and I poked it in the soil and it just grew. So this pallida has fallen into many of my pots. I have propagated it many times, and it's just given me so much. It's a nice purple color, and it adds a lot of variation to your balcony. With a lot of greens, this purple looks really good. This one right here is my pretty old Peperomia scandens. I like this plant because of the zigzag stem and the fleshy leaves, almost succulent-like. And it's pretty hardy also. That's the best part about it. It's been growing for quite some time. I think it's had some caterpillars. You can see this cocoon right here. So it's had evidence of a caterpillar that has eaten and flown away. So yeah, this plant is a good plant, very hardy, and I have some cuttings growing in some other soil as well. So the best part about these plants are that you can always propagate them into many more pots. This here is my Epipremnum aureum Enjoy money plant. Okay, the Enjoy variant, and it grows pretty slow. It's been with me for a very, very, very long time. But it's been growing very sadly, as in very slowly, because probably there's very limited light here. And yeah, I have also taken some cuttings from it. It's not that bad, but yeah, I have taken some cuttings from it, and that time it stopped growing for some time. And anyway, I've just let it be now, and it looks healthy, so I'm happy. Okay, so right in front of that, I have the lemon button fern. This fern again has surprised me. It's been with me for a very long time now. And it has surprised me a lot because it had gone down to almost zero. And I brought it here at that point when it was completely dying. And it kicked back because here probably the humidity was a little more than there. And you can see that it's doing well. I think there are some ants in this spot. There's an ant nest and I have to deal with that. But other than that, this plant is doing very well and it's growing back. In summer, for a fern to be at this level, I think I am happy with that. This here is another Nephrolophus fern that I recently got. That's why it's so lush and beautiful. It's a more recent addition. I have another one of this in the other balcony, but I find this looking very pretty. So I couldn't resist this one. And here, over here is my very sad and struggling asparagus plant, asparagus fern. It's a false fern, and the problem with this plant is there's a story behind it. I had it in my main balcony over there, and I had these crows who had spotted it, and they were just coming, plucking off the fronds for their nests, and they kept doing it. It was a struggle. I used to shoo them away, and they used to keep coming back. Then I finally said enough. I got to keep it in a place where crows don't have access, and because of this birds netting that we have put here, birds can't come and get this fern. So now it's struggling back. It's coming back to life, but it's not doing as great. I mean, I've given it enough time. It should have grown much better. Probably I forgot to water or something like that. It's not as lush as I would expect it to be. And also there is the point that, it gets limited light right here. So that is one thing. But okay, I'm keeping this plant and I'm going to keep it alive. This is Epipremnum aureum, the non-variegated one. I had started this from small cuttings and it's grown to this level, which is quite good. I'm quite happy. I will probably put more cuttings here in these empty spaces and make it a full pot. So this is something that I've grown from, a bare pot. So I'm quite happy with this. I have an existing one, which is in my main balcony. And that is the mother plant that gave cuttings for this one. So happy that it's growing quite well. And over here, I have another Epipremnum aureum. This is the variegated one. This here is Creeping Charlie, and it needs to be watered frequently, otherwise it dries out completely. This, you cannot forget your watering with this plant. This one here is the Piper beetle, also commonly called the beetle leaf vine, and it is somewhat of a new acquisition, and you can see it's relatively small. I've seen these grow on moss poles and they grow really big. Probably I'll take some cuttings out sometime later and make it grow on a moss pole in the future. Some more Pedlanthus curly pink propagations here. And there's one of my favorite plants here which I got to show you. I'll remove it because it's practically on the other side. It's not doing as great because it's got really delicate leaves actually, this plant. This is the Anthurium hookeri and it's called a bird's nest anthurium, and you can see there's a lot of crisping happening over here. I cut off few bits of it and see this leaf like totally damaged. Actually, when I got it, it was pretty damaged. I bought it from a Facebook seller, I think, very long back. But now it's grown a lot of new leaves, but you can see how thin the leaves are and they get broken pretty easily. For some reason, they get damaged so easily. So this is a plant that you might want to think twice before buying. I think only this leaf is pretty okay. One leaf that I found is pretty okay, but still there's a little bit of damage there also. It's a good plant. It's a lovely plant. It's not fussy and it won't, die on you that easily, but the leaves are extremely delicate. So I'm trying to keep it in a spot where it kind of doesn't get bump into other plants and all that. But it's difficult when you have so many plants. But I still like this plant anyway. I have some, scandens cuttings right here. And at the back there, I have this turtle vine, which needs a lot of water. If you keep misting it, keep it wet all the time, this plant kind of stays happy and doesn't crisp up too much. Whenever you see these crisp leaves, just pluck them off and you'll have more foliage growing. It's pretty bald up there, so I won't remove this pot and show you. This is how the vine looks. But yes, I have it growing in almost, so many of my pots. It's in this Kadi Patta pot right here. You can see how lush it is because there's a lot of water falling here. It's growing out of the Kadi Patta pot and I can, anytime keep propagating. These are some other weeds that are growing here. They are said to be medicinal, I believe. I'm sure you guys would know what these are called. It's my mother-in-law is telling me that it is used for jaundice treatment and stuff like that. I'm not sure about it, but yeah, if you know the name of this plant, do leave it in the comments down below. I would love to hear. I would love to learn from you. So right here I have my Kadi Patta plant, which was again attacked by these huge fat caterpillars, and the caterpillars ate completely almost every leaf on my plant. I let them also because I was anyway going to prune my plant. I'm going to prune it probably from the main stem just before the rains and get some new foliage. So yeah, so that's how it is with my Kadi Patta plant. There is some sort of bug infestation right here. These are some bugs that are growing on it. But otherwise, this plant is a healthy plant. I'll just cut it and it will grow well. This here is my lemon plant. Again, I had some caterpillars do damage and I have a weakness for butterflies and caterpillars. So I kind of don't get rid of them always. And yeah, I let them be. This one here is my Philodendron hedraceum, Brussels. This is the non-variegated one. I took it from the variegated pot where certain shoots started losing variegation, so I cut them off and I put them in a pot of their own, and it's growing pretty well. This was done recently, so it's grown this much, which is quite good. I have another pot like this which I had done some time back. I put an IGTV on Instagram of that has really grown huge and it's in my main balcony. So I'm pretty happy with this, and yeah, it's growing pretty well as well. I really hope you like this video, and if you did, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and also leave what you think about it in the comments down below. And let me know if you want to see a water propagation masterclass soon. So I'll do that one for you. Do subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and also follow us on Instagram as well. And I hope to see you soon in another video. Till then, stay green.